Hey, it's Rainy, your friendly neighborhood GM, and just here to remind you that the levels are still off in this episode. This was in the same recording day as the last episode, so it should sound fairly similar. Like I said, this is something we caught and resolved for future episodes, so apologies, but please enjoy. Welcome to Fathomless Sleep, Episode 3 on the Just Barbarian Things actual play of Cthulhu Confidential. The Los Angeles of this world contains graphic violence, questionable morals, bad language, the occult, otherworldly dangers, and some historical discrimination and politics. You have been warned. This is a duet game featuring Santiago as Enrique Kincaid, private investigator, and me, Rainy, as the game master. It's LA, 1937, and Enrique Kincaid is on the case. You have a lot of information. You have some places you can go. I will let you know that it's late, but that doesn't stop things from happening in noir, hard-boiled LA. So, up to you what you want to do.
I think I'll go back to my office, actually.
Okay.
Check in with, I don't have a secretary or anything like that, but, I feel like I have a mail slot, in my door, so I can check if there's any messages that way and all that sort of thing.
Sure. So you head back to your office. Nothing waiting for you. Not even, because you didn't choose that problem, not even a new stack of bills to worry about. Actually, I'll say one thing is waiting for you. It looks like through the mail slot is your first per diem payment, presumably for the next day of work.
Oh, timely. Nice. Is that in cash or is that like a check?
It's an envelope of cash.
All right. I'll have to put that in my wallet. Just, the cash, dispose of the envelope. And I think I'll just think about stuff like the clues I've gathered so far before, maybe stretching out on the couch and, catching 40 winks.
All right. You can get some rest if you like.
All right.
What's your plan?
Well, the next day, I think I'm going to check out Phil Block, see what his involvement is with all this, and then I'll probably have to check out the Order of the Argent Light after that, depending on what I learn from Phil. Mostly I'm interested in Phil to see what his involvement with Whitey is,
sure.
Just so I have a clear picture of all the players on the board.
All right. So it's the next day. You can choose what time you decide to head out and all that. There's nothing. It's just a storytelling game at this point. You can make it whatever you want. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo.
Yeah, I gotta freshen up and see if I can't maybe change my outfit a little bit. Look into maybe dropping off my suit with the tailor to see if it can be, fixed up.
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And
especially you got this money to pay for it, so there's that.
Right, expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to walk around looking shabby, but I'm not flashy either. The idea is to blend in, not stand out either way. So hopefully I have a backup suit that I can wear and freshen up a little bit, maybe shave, that sort of thing. have a couple of drinks to take the edge off, and you know, and hit the street
Right.
bright and early.
Walking out of your office, I need you to make a fighting roll.
Ooh, right.
All right. Oh, of course. You're good at fighting, so this isn't a problem for you. Spielman's, the portly man that you embarrassed by sneaking into his car and holding him at gunpoint to answer questions, attempts to take a less than honorable stab at you with his knife as you exit your office building. With a 5+, which you got on your first die. So again, I'm being forced to give you a push. Rude. All right. You are able to disarm him and kind of sock him, get him down onto the ground. And you already have the quick reactions edge, so I can't give you a new edge for this one. But yeah, he was trying to get you.
Okay. Well, I am 100% pissed at this. So I would like to actually, he takes a swipe at me. Mm-hmm. I managed to notice and, not only avoid his attack, but disarm him. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to muscle him into the nearby alley so that we can proceed without disturbing the, local residents over their breakfast. And have a quick conversation.
Sure.
By which I mean, I just want to tell him, I was like, I tried to tell you it was a bad idea, pal, and I want to knock him out. Hollywood knockout.
Yep, you can do that.
Gun butt to the back of the, like not back of the neck, but you know what? That's always the thing with the Hollywood knockout.
He falls limp to the alley, dropping his long switchblade type knife.
Nice. Oh, it's like one of those like stiletto type of switchblades, like sort of deal. Excellent. Okay. Well, we'll fold that closed and pocket that. Count that among my resources. But I think, yeah, I'm really pissed off. This is not gonna, not cool. So, I don't know if we want to glance over like the details of what I have in mind, but if we do want to like, yada, yada, yada it, he would wake up tied to a chair in like a basement or a storeroom or something like that, back at the Alegria, because I would, take him back to Whitey's establishment and let Whitey know, like, look, when I left yesterday, I found this piece of work casing the joint. And, I don't know who he followed there or what his game is, but when I came out of my office this morning, he was, he tried to get the drop on me. I told him if I ever saw him again, that it wasn't going to end well for him. But given that I ran into him on your turf, I think it might be something that I should come to you with. But if it were up to me, he'd already be taking a long nap at the end of a dirt road.
And he's like, thank you, Ricky, once again. Don't worry, we'll take care of this. Just forget about it. Everything's going to be fine.
I leave it in your capable hands, Whitey. And again, you let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
All right. So you were going to check out Phil Block, you said?
Yes.
Do you have research?
That is an excellent question. I don't think that I do. I have research. Yes.
Okay.
I have research.
So now that you know his name It's just a matter of using your normal private investigator skills to nail down the address. Probably a phone book. But, So yeah, you can get the address of what looks like an apartment in Echo Park.
Okay. This guy was the reporter. The hopefully unfortunate reporter was Franz something or other. Franz Spielman.
The guy you left with the mob.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you should be wearing a pair of cinder block slippers. But, we'll see. Okay, sorry. Digging into Phil, I find an address, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
In this day and age, once you know their name, the address is easy.
Last known address. All right, great. Yeah, let's go.
Like I said, it looks like an apartment in the Echo Park area.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, let's just take a casual stroll by Mr. Block's apartment and see if we can't have a conversation with him.
So, yeah, I can show you the apartment. Let me get that. There you go.
All right. Does he have a sign or anything like that? Any signage?
It's not a business address. It's an apartment.
Okay. This is where he hangs his hat. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's go pay him a visit. But let's start off nice. Let's pay him a nice visit. See if we can't we're gonna try the carrot approach first. See what happens.
Sure. So what do you do?
Let's walk right up to his door and knock.
This is who is it?
Mr. Block, it's Mr. Kincaid. I'm following up on a tip I got from an associate of mine. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
Oh, sorry, not interested.
I assure you I'm not selling anything. This is an official investigation. I'd really appreciate your cooperation.
I assure you I'm quite busy, but thank you.
Okay. So the carrot didn't work. Let's try the stick. Back up and kick the door in.
All right, sure. He's like, oh, shit. My landlord's never going to... Oh, what the hell?
Don't worry about that right now. You got more immediate problems. Now, you could have talked to me on your own volition, but now we're having this conversation. Why don't you sit down over there?
Okay. He is basically a doormat. As soon as you start talking rough, he's immediately soft. He's sweaty. He's near tears. He's like, whatever it is, I'm sure we can work this out.
I feel like I saw you last night over at Whitey's joint. You want to tell me what you were doing over there?
Whitey's the boss. Just doing more work.
I'll make a gesture at him, kind of reeling in some fishing twine on 2 fingers to indicate, go on. Like, what exactly? Give me some details here. What's your work involved? What do you do for Mr. Let's see, Whitey Alexander, Mr. Alexander?
Well, I help with the books. I'm an accountant.
You didn't look none too happy with what your figures and calculations might have been showing you when I saw you rushing out of there. Anything particular going on?
I, sometimes, especially with a joint like that, I have to make sure the numbers all line up so that there's no trouble. You know what I mean? It's not standard
I,
accounting work.
I do. Yeah, yeah. We all gotta cook our books from time to time.
Oh,
Everything's seeming all right over there.
let's see. With that kind of establishment, there's always problems with the books. Or there would be if someone like me wasn't there to make sure everything is smooth. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. You're a valuable person to a lot of people. That makes sense. Let's see here. All righty. Well, I'm glad you're taking good care of Whitey. If anything happened to impact his business, I'm sure he would send folks to sort out why that might be.
I'm sure you're right.
What can you tell me about Helen Deacon? I'm to understand you might have been helping her out as well.
Look, she came on to me, all right? It wasn't me. I mean, look at me. She's so far out of my league, she might as well be on the moon. But she got all hot and heavy for me. I didn't have the strength. I should have had the strength. Please don't tell Whitey. Oh my God.
So you and Helen had a thing going on, huh? Was it a one-time thing or
I honestly, she was probably using me. I think looking back on it, she might have been using me. But it was just, I mean, look at me. Have you seen her? Amazing.
so kind of an ongoing thing? What was she using you for? What was she having you do?
She asked for a copy of the books.
I see. And did you get her a copy of the books?
I may have given her a copy of the books. And look, as soon as I did, it's like I didn't exist anymore.
I guess she was pretty persuasive. Well, I see. What about, my gosh, I don't have a picture of Marshall Daly.
Oh, you could certainly
Gotcha.
describe him, though.
Right. Yeah. She ever come around with a friend of hers, tall guy, good looking fella, describes like, Marshall to him.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that pervert had a picture of them two together. I never met him, though.
I see. All right. So I never met him. All right. Something seems a little fishy here. I don't know if this guy's telling me the truth. Let's see if maybe I can assess his honesty.
Sure.
See if I have that button that comes up. Press X for doubt.
Yeah, no, if you assess honesty, you would know that this guy is much too scared to lie to you about anything.
All right. Sounds good. Can't think of anything else to ask this guy about. So I wanted to ask him about Whitey, Helen, and Marshall, and that's it.
Yeah, he said the pervert had pictures of Helen with Marshall. You could ask more about like Helen's motives. You could ask about that, about the picture, about the pervert. But up to you. Or you can call it. You have other leads, so.
Yeah, I think I'd just like to ask him the to speculate. Why do you think Helen would want a copy of Whitey's books?
Oh, I've been
What was in
thinking
it
about
for
that a
her?
lot. I mean, why would a dame want accounting ledgers? You know what I mean? But I'm assuming that she was trying to go over Whitey's head and send these books to Guy to show that Whitey was skimming off the top, you know? That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why she would give them to anyone else.
So you're saying Whitey's skimming off the top and Guy doesn't know about it, huh?
I'm saying that the copy of the books that she has before they were adjusted may show that. And I was thinking, because I saw bruises on her one time, and I asked if Whitey had done that, and she said no, but I don't know if I believe her. So maybe she was just trying to get out of a bad relationship.
I think to myself, or maybe she's trying to get rid of Whitey because her family's in trouble with gambling debts. But I'll keep that obviously to myself. All right. Well, let's just we'll keep those books, of course, between you and me. I know we can all count on your discretion. Man, in your line of work definitely has to keep that to himself. If anybody comes to see you about this, you tell them to come see me. What do you say?
I can do that. I have no problem sending someone to talk to you instead of me.
Good. I think that would be for the best. I'll make sure and leave him my calling card. And yeah, that's all I can think to ask him, if I'm honest.
Sure.
That's good information, though. So yeah, there's just so much to make notes of, to keep track of everything. So I'm like writing a book over here between every interaction.
Yeah.
So.
And some of it's helpful, some of it's not. But how will you know?
I think I covered all the key points here. That Helen asked for a copy of the raw books showing that Whitey is skimming off the top. That guy McAfee obviously doesn't know about this and would take none too kindly to it if he did.
Yep.
Marshall has photos of he and Helen together in an intimate setting, to say the least. And Phil referred to Marshall as a pervert.
Nope.
Sound right? No? What'd I miss?
So you asked if he knew Marshall. He said that the pervert had a picture of Marshall and Helen together. You get the feeling the pervert is someone else.
Is a third party. Yeah. Okay, Marshall.
But he had never met Marshall. But he had seen a photo of Marshall and Helen together.
So that's good. Yeah, that's why we go over this stuff. Let's see. So his photos or just a photo?
Let's see. Photos.
Okay. Okay, so that definitely leads to a new line of questioning. Who is this pervert? Why don't you tell me more about this pervert, Phil? I might want to have a conversation with him too.
All right. This has got me a little scared because you're not the first person to come in and ask about Helen in this whole book scenario, right? So a couple days after I gave Helen the books, this German guy, Spielmans, shows up with these photos of Helen and me leaving the hotel. And then I knew if Whitey saw that, if Whitey knew about this, like I'd be dead, right? But this guy's so dumb that he believed me when I said that I could, get him in trouble with the mob. Look at me. And this guy thinks that I'm a mobster and can get him into some kind of trouble. But it seemed like he was terrified of getting caught up in that business, right? So he kept accusing me of being involved with some communists. I made it clear I was with the mob. He got scared off. But he had photos not only of Helen with me, but Helen with that handsome guy you were describing as well, that boyfriend type. But with all these pictures and these questions, this guy's obviously some kind of pervert.
Got it. Okay. All right. Hopefully I can give away nothing when I realize who the pervert is. Okay. Well, hopefully.
Make sure he doesn't get to Helen, though. If he upset her with some, I don't know why he's following her around, but it could. I mean, she's such a delicate, beautiful, little confused animal. You don't. I don't know what effect a guy like that would have on her.
Yeah, we'll be sure to keep them far, far apart from each other. All right, Phil. Thanks for your time. You keep your nose clean and you keep those books legit, huh? And with that, I'll make my exit.
Okay. Where are you going?
Well, let's see here. I don't think I need to check in with Whitey at this point. I mean, I'm gonna hope that that Franz didn't spill the beans about Helen having other, gentleman callers. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really, I was never supposed to be there, but I did give him my calling card, but I can always play dumb later if it comes back around to haunt me with Whitey, I think. It's like I never saw that guy there. I was following up on this because of, I got the lead from Spielman. So I had no idea he was involved with Whitey. It's my official story. I'm going to stick to it. Because I don't want I don't want Whitey to know that I was poking around in his business behind his back.
Right.
And I think there's enough plausible degrees of separation to make that fly. We'll see, though.
You probably have more pool than Phil Block does.
So. We'll see if I need to, sell that. But for now, I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and follow up at the Order of the Argent Light.
Oh, what a wonderful choice as your next location. All right. Uh-huh. All right. So I will show you the Order of Argent Light. There you go.
I see.
So
wow.
You know that LA is a fertile breeding ground for spiritual questers of all types. A lot of artistic folk here, a lot of people, in journeys from other places and trying to figure things out. So it makes sense. Out of character, I mean, this is really a time that sets us up for what is the precursor to the New Age movement. That's going to come about a little bit later. But you would know in character that there's everything from true believers to complete charlatans trying to take money from people, right? You don't know what you're getting into. Things run the whole gamut here in LA. So you are heading over to the Order of the Argent Light. And let's see what you... All right. Talk to me about what you are doing.
Well, let's see here. I know that there's somebody there named Clara Nabel, and I don't know if they're if they're running the place or if they just work there, that sort of thing. So I think that I start off strolling in the front door. There's got to be some sort of reception area or something like that. I'm gonna walk around until somebody asks if they can help me.
All right. So when you walk in, there are these, it's this lovely tiled affair with like blue glass mixed in. There are all of these little glass baubles that redirect light in all of these very attractive ways. And a woman comes out to meet you when she hears the little chime of the bell that signals the door has been opened. There you go.
All right.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is Clara or not, because I never got a description of her. So I feel like I can either presume that it's her, or I can ask to speak to Clara, not knowing that is indeed Clara. So I don't want to fudge it, I'm going to presume it's her because as a player, I know it's her and stuff like that. So I feel like I should let the dice decide, in all fairness, what I should do. Either ask to speak to Clara or roll the in-game figurative dice and presume it's her, and go from there. So let's just roll 1d6, and odds I'll ask to speak to her, evens I'll presume it's her. Okay. How's that?
Sure.
Right, that's a 1. So I'm gonna ask this unknown person who's approached me. Now, does she come up and with a greeting or anything, or does she just walk into the room and look at me mysteriously, or what's her demeanor?
So she walks in a very just sort of like glidey way, and she says, a quester, someone looking for answers from the cosmos, from the mythos. How can I be of assistance? You've come to a safe place, to the right place.
Oh, hello, miss. I'm Mr. Kincaid, Enrique Kincaid. I'm looking for Clara Nibble.
Oh, certainly one of my apprentices could feel the questions dwelling within you and sent you to me. How can I help to soothe your troubled mind?
I'm actually looking for a girl, and not just any girl, a special young lady. In fact, one Helen Deacon. I have an interest in tracking down her whereabouts, kind of playing it dumb, like I don't know where she is.
Like all with questions, you must open your awareness to the argent light, defeat the darkness that hides the things that you seek.
I'm willing to confront my darkness if that'll help me get on my way. Do you know Helen?
Of course. Helen joined the Argent Order 2 years ago. She came with some other silly girls, but Helen stuck around.
When's the last time she checked in with you here, Ms. Nabel?
nigh on 7 weeks at this point.
All right. I'm going to ask a few questions and then see if I can get a sense of her honesty. See if she's
When last I saw
up and
her,
up.
a dark cloud hung over her.
Oh, you don't say. Did she come to you for help?
She didn't. At the time, she was just joining us for a normal meeting, but when I told her of this darkness, she asked me to read her aura. And I saw a spore of an ancient and gnawing evil. Something that she had walked over unsuspecting. But
Oh, yeah?
I also beheld the vision of a great lever, once alive but now stilled. And I offered to conduct a protective rite, as only makes sense. Of course, there were ritual supplies that would need to be paid for. Unfortunately, Helen did not return with the required funds to make that happen. So I hope she did not succumb to that darkness.
Oh, I see. Of course. All right. I feel like she's definitely telling the truth, but when she mentions she read the aura and got a sense of an ancient evil, I think that's gonna pique my interest on that, because I do have a bit of Cthulhu mythos on this here that I've come across in my studies at USC. So I want to say that kind of jumps out at me a little bit. And I want to ask Ms. Nabel if there's somewhere we can sit down and talk more directly about this darkness.
You may always be open and honest here. This is a safe place. And she gestures to like this kind of plaster bench that's like built into the wall in this main room of the building.
The burble of the fountain nearby.
Right.
The blue cut glass and tile everywhere and so on. Okay. It's great. What can you tell me about this darkness? I feel like that might have something to do with her disappearance.
What you have to understand is that all violence and confusion in our modern age arise from the action of the Dark Ones. They have names that most don't dare to speak, things like Yig and Shub-Niggurath. And their desire is to plunge mankind into eternal ages of darkness. But only by empowering the secret masters with the resources required can we restore the planet to their stern command and banish entropy. To do
How
this,
does that check? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I wonder just how that all checks out with what I might know of Cthulhu mythos.
I mean, these are familiar names in the mythos. For sure. It seems that she at least knows something about the mythos. You couldn't say for sure if it's legitimate or that she's using those names for whatever it is that she's doing here.
So Clara read Helen's aura, saw this miasma of dark, ancient evil around her, clinging to her, offered to cleanse it if she would return with bits and bobs and whatnot, Eye of Newton, candles, and etc. And but Helen never returned.
That is correct. Honestly, Helen had been unable to make the necessary donations to the order for the last 6 months or so. I suspect it was the poor girl's sister, sadly close-minded, who had tightened the purse strings of the household. Quite unfortunate. There were great workings to be done to forestall disaster in a darkening world with the help of the secret masters.
With the help of the secret masters, you say? Okay. Guess the secret masters wouldn't be too secret if you could just tell me more about them, huh?
To the normal waking world, they must remain secret because no one is ready for the types of things that they would hear or see from them. But for you, I can see you are a true seeker. And I will admit, I do know one of the secret masters, for there are many. He maintains one of his homes right here in Los Angeles.
Okay. Nice. What's his name? Heck, and address. Just going for all the goods.
Most would know him because he is a well-known author by the name of William Dudley Pelley. He has written of the near-death experience he had in 1928. During that time, it was bestowed on him mystical powers and a plan to combat the dark forces. Of course, he changed the detail in his public writings to cushion the shock of the revelations he really experienced. The world would be unprepared for such detail.
Okay. So,
and you can
this
see
ritual
in this room prominently displayed are a number of his books.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I'd like to get a list of the necessary components for the ritual. And is that something that gosh, I guess what I want to ask is the cleansing ritual to help Helen out with her aura. Those components, are those things that you sell here, or would she need to retrieve them out in the world and bring them back to you?
Oh no, these are things that must be procured and prepared by someone trained so that they can handle these things safely. So it was only required that she provide the resources monetarily for me to acquire such items to help her to be freed of this darkness, which has, since I have not seen her, no doubt consumed her in some way.
Now, how long did was Helen how long did she disappear for?
6 weeks ago, and she was gone for 2 weeks.
Okay, so she disappeared 6 weeks ago. The last time, so the last time anyone saw her so far was 6 weeks ago, but she's only been gone for 2 weeks. Like that's what I'm trying to get my mind around.
She disappeared 6 weeks ago, and then reappeared 4 weeks ago. She was gone for 2 weeks.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And see, I should have, like, knowing that when people are like, I saw her 6 weeks ago, I should have asked, like, where was the last time you saw her? Like, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing.
But okay. We can you go back in time. If you want a timeline based on what you would have asked people, I can give you that.
Okay. Yeah, I would have, knowing that I would have, when's the last time you saw her, and under what circumstances, it basically is what, where, with who, all that kind of thing, and so if Marshall is just like, oh yeah, she was at my apartment and she left and then I never saw her or something like that. I don't know, whatever the answer happens to be, but that's, I guess, what I'm looking for.
Let's see. So I'm trying to get the dates from you here. So basically, So 30 days ago, 4 weeks ago, right? Police find Helen wandering downtown. Right? 41 days ago is when it was noted that she was missing by her family. While she was missing, that's when Marshall Daly showed up at the Deacon residence looking for her. So within that 2-week span. 43 days ago, so just 2 days before she went missing, Marshall Daly saw Helen. Their normal meetup. Three days before that. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. All right. No, I'm good.
All right.
Continue, please.
3 days before that was the last time Helen had attended a spiritual talk at the Order of the Argent Light.
Okay. I get the feeling this place is kind of a scam. So,
like a week before that is when Phil gave Helen the books at the hotel.
Okay. Gotcha. I wonder what she did with the books. It's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who do I have among my contacts? Let's see here. Yeah, I got the historian, maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who I would talk to, I guess, about this, because I don't know. This seems kind of coming up a little bit short on this, like right now. I don't know where to go from here. Like, really, I thought there'd be more at this place. I guess I could follow up with the secret master, William Dudley Pelly, but it, like I said, it seems scammy, and that, you know, Helen was scared. She was involved with this place. She went there, you know, for help. They just tried to take advantage of her, you know, but she did mention some legit bad guys. So I don't know. Not sure.
Well, you have a few things to look into. If you want to follow up on this, you can.
Yeah, I need to check my quest log.
If you
like see.
But you had a couple other things in there for sure. And I can help you out if you feel stuck.
Yeah. I need to check my quest log, like to just get a refresher of what I haven't followed up on yet. For sure. But I mean, I don't mean literally check my quest log. I mean, that's what I'd do in an RPG if I felt kind of like, well, now what do I do?
Saying you need time to check your notes?
Okay. No. I mean that figuratively. Sorry. I mean it figuratively. Like if you're an RPG and you're like, well, shit, now what do I do? Yeah. You know, then you open your quest log and you like go, oh yeah, okay, I need to go over here and talk to that guy. So I just mean it figuratively. Sorry.
All right. So things that you know that Clarice based on what Claire is telling you, Helen spent a lot of time and potentially money up into a certain point at this place, and doing all of the things that go along with it. This not so secret master whose signed books are all around this place was probably involved in some of those events. If you wanted to look into him, you can definitely do that. That's just research, which you have. You also have, that Spielman's was following her around to some extent. You could look into him more. Remember, once you have a name, you can usually find an address. So you can show up at a lot of these places because that's what Nora time allows you to do. You also recognized the two drivers that calmly drove away from the bombing at the casino. And you have a location to look into based on that. And you would probably put together that if there's something going on with the books and someone's sending a message over at the casino, that these things may be linked.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I think I'm going to start by following up on Spielman's by since he is either he's either not there right now or never to return. I feel like I can go to his office and then maybe apartment and look for clues there. So I think that's where I'm going to start. And then in the back of my mind, I think maybe I should follow up with Whitey after things have maybe calmed down a little bit after the explosion, letting him know that I think they're on to him. So,
all right,
and go from there.
All right. So you're looking up the location to check into Mr. Spielman's, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you are able to find, because you have the research skill, that there is basically a lease document for the guest house on the property of a starlet named Greta Odemar that he uses as his house and, center of operation. So let me see here. Yeah, I got that. So you would know that it's in the Beverly Hills area. So the guest house would be like a freestanding structure on the property. So you can choose how you would like to handle that situation if you wanted to go check it out.
So it's on the property, right? Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Guest houses in California usually separate from the main house. They're not attached.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just drive over there. I have kind of a plan, so we'll see.
Okay. Go for it.
Driving over there, and like I get there, is there like a gate, like a doorman? Like, what's the? I mean, can I just drive up to the guest house? I don't know what the layout is.
Really. Yeah, so there would be a driveway to get to the property. There is, a sort of like a wall around the property that is open with an archway over the drive. There doesn't seem to be like a big concern with like having it be closed or guarded. Like, she's not that famous, but she's done a bit. She has a bit of money. And it's kind of these sprawling grounds. There's the large main house, and then the gardens and a pool, and then the guest house kind of towards the back, but also accessible from the drive because, people would be staying there.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll park out of the way and make my way on foot to the guest house.
All right. So going straight to the guest house.
Yeah, for now.
Okay. All right. So do you have any kind of, I guess it would be shadowing, right? If you're trying to not be noticed going into the guest house?
Yeah, but I'm not. I have, like I say, I have a cover story in mind that I'm here to see Mr. Spielman's, that I made an appointment with him personally for this time. And that the arrangement we made was that if he's not here, that I was to wait for him. is what I'm going. That's my cover story, just between me and you. So I'm going to act as though I belong here, having formulated this plan and just adopted that mindset to act as if.
Okay. Well, the door to the guest house is locked.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Um, let's see here. Oh, look at that. I've got locksmith. I think I might have to take a little time and jimmy it open. It doesn't look like it's something I can roll. Looks like something I just have. So I don't know how that works.
Nope, you're good. So you just say that you're using your locksmith to get in, which you're able to do. So let me show you the inside of the guest house. There you go. I'll show you that. All right. So when you go into the guest house, let's see here. It's basically one main living area with a small separate like washroom. So instead of having like a separate bedroom, it has like a Murphy bed basically in one of the walls.
Mm-hmm.
There's a desk with a chair, a love seat, a standing wardrobe, a comfortable guest space.
Okay. I'm just gonna start going through the place, opening drawers, looking through, under the mattress, wherever.
You're doing some
common hiding
collection.
places. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you find something that's of interest, especially with all this talk of photographs. In the fireplace, there are some remnants of burned photographs, but no whole photos or negatives. If you knew someone with a photography skill, they could perhaps, recreate what these photographs may have been. You also find a key hidden behind a chunk of loose mortar in the fireplace's bricks.
Okay.
Do you have accounting?
I do not.
Okay.
Assuming these are in alphabetical order, which it looks like they are, I do not have accounting.
Okay. If you knew someone with accounting, you may be able to identify where this is from, but it looks like a safe deposit box key. You do note that there is a drawer in the desk and it is locked.
Okay, let's go ahead and jimmy that lock to get access to it.
You are able to do so. There's a set of letters inside the locked drawer. They are postmarked Berlin, and they are written in code. If you or someone had cryptography, you may be able to identify and put them, in order.
No, I don't know anyone with cryptography. I don't think Dr. Chang would have that. He's a historian, so...
I'll check. One of them has to have it unless I messed it up.
Oh, and in that case, he's probably the person who has that. Unless maybe it was, I don't know, one of the doctors, I think. There's a historian and a neurologist. I feel like the historian probably...
Yeah. We'll say that, Dr. Chang is most likely to have it.
Okay. So maybe Dr. Chang would know something about this, and then, my friend Danny, would probably be able to decipher these photographs, but I think I'll either grab a spare envelope from the office area and put the biggest chunks of the charred photograph remnants in it, and tuck that into one of my pockets. I'll pocket the key as well. Let's see here. I can follow up with Phil about this key. He might be able to tell me where it leads. Because the way these works is like you have your safety key, right? And you go to the bank, and like with that, they have the other key, and it takes two to unlock a box or something like that, or who knows.
No, you just have to know which bank it belongs to. And you can unlock your own safety deposit box.
Okay, right. Gotcha. So maybe Phil would be able to tell me which bank this one belongs to, unless...
And also, just a reminder,
I don't know.
For all of your contacts, you can go to their attributes and abilities tab to see what they give you access to.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Because your city hall secretary friend, Betty Myrna, has accounting.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Cool. Okay. Have the letters, have the key, have the charred photo remnants. And I have, let's see here. Who would know about the photograph? So I was thinking Danny would, but he doesn't. Okay. And, oh, Dr. Ching has photography. Who has cryptography?
We decided that would be Dr. Ching, too.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I'll leave, head over to, well, assuming it's still early enough in the day.
Yeah, it's still
head
daytime.
over to Dr. Chang's office.
As you leave the guest house, you are greeted by the form of the lady of the house. One Miss Greta Odemar. She says, "Oh, that sack of shit does not usually get visitors. May I ask why you're here?"
Miss Odemar, I presume. I'm a huge fan. Yes, I was stopping by to see Mr. Spielman's, but apparently he's not in. I just had a few questions for him regarding some of the articles he was working on.
I see. Hopefully some questions that involved you punching him in the face or perhaps stabbing him and throwing him in a river.
Doesn't sound like you're too fond of your tenant here. Why don't you evict him?
If only I could. Perhaps you'd like to evict him for me? I'll give you $200 right now if you'll, maybe shoot him, dispose of his body somewhere.
I tell you what, if you ever see him again, I would be very surprised indeed. If you should probably, in fact, I'd say you might want to clean up the place and get it ready for a new tenant. And no payment necessary, miss, but maybe we can have another conversation again some other time if there's something that you can do for me. I like to collect favors, see, not necessarily cash.
They are their own formats of currency. There are good ones and not so good ones that lead you to have a stupid fucking tenant like this one is. But if he's gone, I would be very glad of that. So this is good news to me.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be troubled by Mr. Spielman's anymore anytime. I'll leave it at anymore.
Well, very good. I hope you have a beautiful day.
You as well. Pleasure to meet you. And I'll make my way out of the grounds, off the grounds. I'll leave her to her preparations of her guest house, I guess. I'll remember that I met Greta. I met Greta on the way out. I kind of noticed. I noticed that she sounded German on my way out, but that she seemed none too fond of Spielman's. Okay, great. And that she owes me a favor. Okay, got it. So those are my bullet points about Ms. Greta Odemar.
All right. If you were going to see Dr. Chang and drop off things with him because you were using his ability, what that will mean is that you will leave those things with him and he will get back to you at a later time with an update.
Okay, great. That's perfect, actually, because then I can follow up with Betty as well. All right.
All right. So you are checking with Betty just about where that key came from.
Mm-hmm.
So same deal. Since you're using her skill, you'll leave it with her. She'll look into it and get it back to you with the information on where it belongs.
Okay.
And you can take downtime if you want to and just wait for those things, or you can look into other locations. All those things are totally up to you. Ooh, thunder.
Thunderbolts and lightning. Yes. It's, summertime in the Front Range. It's storms every afternoon, it seems. All right. Yeah. I'll see if I can maybe follow up. Well, actually, no, my plan was to follow up with Whitey after this. So I'll drop those off. And by now I feel like it's probably late enough that it's when, so I'm driving all over town here, dropping this off, dropping that off, got to exchange pleasantries and so on and so forth.
Sure.
So now I can head back.
You're going to Allegria.
Allegria, yep.
All right. What you would notice heading back this time is that it's pretty dead. It looks like either what happened here with the explosion either scared folks off, or maybe he shut down for a while to figure things out. But it looks pretty quiet.
All right. So last time I saw Whitey, I had dropped off Spielbins.
Yeah, which was during the day. So you wouldn't have noticed that it was like more dead than normal.
Right. So I had seen him once in between the explosion and this and all that kind of thing. So got it. Okay. Gotcha. How would I have found out about the books if not for talking to Phil? What's a plausible story that I can spin for Whitey? You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I think I'm just going to ask him what he makes of recent events and go from there. Not going to tip my hand. So, yeah. So can I just, walk right in? Is it open at all? Or
Yeah. So you can go in. I mean, all the normal, maybe even more than you even saw when it was busy in here, but like, you know, bouncer types are here. But they know who you are at this point because you'd already dropped off people. And one of them's like, boss said you could go talk to him if you came back. So he's in his office.
I'll give him a tip of the hat and head to the office.
All right. So Whitey's definitely looking out of sorts. But when he sees you, he brightens up a little bit and he's like, Ricky, you see how dead it is here right now? See these
I do.
warnings they're trying to send me? I don't appreciate this. It's getting in the way of my profits. And I don't appreciate those things.
I can imagine what's going on. Well, I mean, last time we spoke, it was in a bit of a hurry for that bit of business with that journalist piece of work. I trust he's not going to bother us anymore.
Don't worry about him. He was just so obsessed with figuring out communists or some bullshit. But squeeze him a little bit. Turns out he has some connection to Nazis.
Okay. I'll make an unpleasant face at the mention of Nazis. Given that, I don't know that it wasn't necessarily a thing back then, but I did fight in the Great War against the Germans.
Right.
So there's that. Let's see. All right. Would you let him go or?
Well, I still got him, visiting downstairs. But do have half a mind to let Mickey Cohen know about him. You know how he feels about Nazis.
Yeah, I think if he took a long walk on the beach with Mickey, that might be for the best.
Well, if you want to put in a word with him, I'll let you earn the goodwill if you want to. Otherwise, I'll handle it. I know you don't always want to get your hands dirty.
Yeah, I think I should maybe stay out of this one. It's just a word of the wise, if I may be so bold as to give you some advice. I don't think Mr. Spielman's is the type of character that we want to let run around loose.
No, he seems a slippery eel. A big one, but still. But I'll talk to Mickey for you. I won't mention your name, of course. We'll get this handled. He's doesn't like this type at all.
Yeah. So what was with the commotion last time?
Did you see
I
it?
nearly got blown up.
That? I wasn't sure if you had just missed it.
I was. My suit's still at the tailor with a couple of singed holes through it. Was lucky to make it out alive.
A shame. Do you know whose car that ended up being? Bing fucking
No.
Crosby. Do you know what I had to promise him so that he wouldn't get all freaked out about it? Because it wasn't him. They weren't after him. I know it was a warning for me. I know they're trying to squeeze me out of this joint, and I don't appreciate it. I got to figure this out because this is killing my business.
So Whitey says it was a warning from them and so on and so forth. All right. Who is it that's trying to put the squeeze on you, Whitey? Who's sending these warnings?
Well, the guy is putting the squeeze on me. We put that out there. It's some bum from the east. I think I told you that, but his name's Bud Barron. But I'm pretty sure he's one of Bugsy Siegel's boys.
Right, Bud Barron. Oops. From back east.
And he's not even classy. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps offices in a magazine warehouse, of all things.
You know, that checks out. I could have swore I saw a couple of guys hightailing it out of here after that unfortunate business in front of your joint here. And I think couldn't put my finger on it at the time, but it did seem like there were a couple of boys from over at AM and Hillier.
Ugh. Well, be careful if you look into that. Like I said, it looks like they have ties to back east, but I'm sure things are a little bumpy right now. But, Guy's going to run them out of town. They're interlopers, and he's going to run them out just like his predecessor did to Capone back in 27. So these things happen. We go through, cycles of these East Coast boys trying to get into a West Coast problem.
Right. Well, I got to come clean with you, Whitey. In the course of my investigation, looking into Helen, I ran across a few things, and I ended up having a talk with the local kid. Got a good head for numbers, Phil Block, and I had a very interesting chat with him, and he seemed a little concerned, maybe that the guy might be, I don't know if I don't want to tell you your business. All I know is if Bud finds out that, if Bud can lean on Phil, he might get some information that might put you in a bad way with Guy. And I feel like if you can get in front of it, that might be very valuable to you.
Have you been talking to Phil?
Not that
soft. He's the softest. But I should have gotten rid of him so long ago, but he's probably the best accountant there is in this whole area.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to keep him in-house, maybe. I know that Spielman was talking to him, and in fact, that's who led me right to Phil. Ugh. Like I said, I think Spielman's a looser end than maybe we thought.
Oh, and who knows who he's been spilling to. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure Phil has an office here, so he's not out of reach. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe I owe you one, Ricky. You've been doing me a lot of favors lately.
Well, I'd just like to have our little chats here. I'd never presume to call in a marker. Not on you, Whitey. I like things just the way they are. But I wanted to check in with you about this. But these AM and Hillier boys, they're really being a thorn in your side, it seems. So I really hope things work out for you on that, in that regard.
Well, like I said, as long as no one starts trying to make waves, we'll bring Phil in-house. Hopefully we've cut off any of these other loose ends. Guy should take care of it. I know he's looking out for me.
All right. Sounds good. Well, all the best, Whitey. You know how to find me if you need anything. I think I'll have to leave it off at that with Whitey.
Now, at this point, because you waited, so it's later in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You could go back to your office to see if you have updates from your contacts, or you could investigate another location. It is up to you.
Well, what I really want to do between me and you as a player and host, or what do they call the head honcho, the story runner or whatever?
Because it's hard to get back
I didn't
to.
call it Cthulhu. Sorry.
It's not
just
called
between
Cthulhu, so it's fine.
Oh, got it. Just between me and you. What I want to do is have Enrique go back to the Order of Argent Light grounds under cover of darkness and poke around, see what he can find there. Skulk around the grounds a little bit, see if there's any other doors or cellars or barns or garages or anything like that. That's what I really want to do next, to see if there's anything to this place, or if it's just one of those scammy kind of places that preys on the budding, age of Aquarius situation. All right, great. Yeah, let's head over there and skulk around a little bit.
All right. So you arrive at the Order of the Argent Light with intentions to skulk around a bit, see if there's anything else going on here. And it seems there's some sort of, not a large thing, but maybe a small event or meeting that is taking place here. Thunder. The lights are on. There are a few cars along the street, and you can hear sounds from inside.
Okay. Yeah, let's sneak up and surveil this meeting, if possible.
All right. So, how are you doing that?
Well, I'd park down the street around the corner, and sneak onto the grounds, cutting through a adjacent, backyard, maybe hopping a fence.
No, I mean, you can sneak onto the grounds,
wall.
no problem. I'm just wondering how you're going to see about what's going on inside. What is your plan for that?
Okay. Yeah, sneak up to a window, I think, peek in, listen at it, I think. See if I can hear anything. And if not, I'll have to look for a better vantage point. But if so, great.
Okay. So looking through the window, you see a man who by face you recognize from the many books that lined the inside of the main room of the order that you were in with Clara. And but he's wearing this silver lame version of what looks like a military uniform of some kind. And there are other men in the room as well, sitting in a circle on these metal folding chairs, all of them in these silvery uniforms, having quiet discussions and glowering at each other.
Okay. So can I understand their conversation? Can I overhear what they're saying? Or do I need to seek a better vantage point?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of whispered discussions almost. So it's hard to say from any outside point for sure.
Okay. So I might have to get in and get closer to overhear, to listen in on their meeting. Okay. But it's just William Pelly and two other guys who are dressed similarly to one another.
Let's see how many that there are in there. It's him and 5 young men. To your view, your practiced observation of people, all of these men have the distinctive look of the angry misfit.
Okay. Gosh, it's really coming down out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll see if I can sneak into the house and creep up to a doorway and overhear, eavesdrop on their conversation.
I mean, most of what they're talking about seems to be gibberish. A lot of pseudo mystical ideas, many racist comments. But yeah, nothing that really catches your ear as like interesting or relevant to your case.
Okay. I'll sneak back out then and continue my investigation of the grounds. See if there's anything. If it's just the main house or if anything interesting seems to be present.
I will tell you just because like it's not a game where you have to like roll to see what you find or whatever. Like Clara is available if you wanted to get her attention again, but this place is what it is. There's nothing else hidden here.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's see. So this kind of cements my feeling that this is just a scammy place and that it's somewhat coincidental on that. So given that it's late, I'll head back to my office to to recover, recuperate, and have a couple of drinks of Huntsman rye and check my notes and mail.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you have a decent stack of mail through your door slot when you return to your office today. On this evening, one of them certainly is your per diem for the following day, as negotiated, but with a small handwritten note on it that says, I'll need an update soon if you want me to keep sending, daily funds. But as far as the things that you receive back from your contacts, from Dr. Chang, you receive a restored photograph. There are some little bits of it missing, but it's pretty expertly reconstructed. The picture shows Helen and a man who you would recognize as Whitey Alexander, ducking into a room together at a fancy-looking establishment, which, again, you would definitely recognize as the Allegria. Maybe a photo that was intended to be used for blackmail. It would be your best guess. The letters are decoded with a note that stated they were written in German, but, they've been translated as well as decoded. The letters come from a organization that is identified as the German Propaganda Ministry. And they all seem to be varying levels of scolding to Spielmans for only getting compromising material on a handful of relatively inconsequential subjects. The letters encourage him to try to find any lewd things that he can on one Charlie Chaplin.
Okay. All right. So that's good.
And then from Betty, you have an envelope with the key and a note that says that this is a safe deposit box key. The numbering matches up with Security First National Bank.
Okay. So this kind of formulates a bit of a to-do list then in that case. So I need to update Margaret. I need to check the box at the bank. All right. So I think those are a couple of things that I'll do tomorrow, but not in that order. So let me update my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to check the box at the bank first, because that might, give me more to update Margaret on. So that's what I think I'd like to do tomorrow. The next day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then I guess also like there's a note that says your tailoring and dry cleaning are ready for pickup, and like the amount that you owe them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I can add that to my, can do that, run that errand while I'm out and about, I guess. Okay. Well, if we want to speed up the clock to the next day, then I have things to do.
All right. Well, with that new pile of potential evidence, this will probably be where we end the second part of this. Thank you, barbarians, for listening to episode 3 of Fathomless Sleep in our Cthulhu Confidential series. If you want to support our podcast or help us make more content, check us out on patreon.com/justbarbarianthings. Things like Session 0 episodes, a character creation episode that we have coming up for our next group game are only available to patrons. So definitely go there if you want access to that sort of thing. If you like the music in our intro and outro, it's from Tabletop Audio. It's called Interrogation Room. You can check them out at tabletopaudio.com for free music and ambient sound for use in your games. Links to everything I've mentioned and more can be found in the description. And until next time, barbarians, spend your rage and your rain-soaked nights wisely.